So, you've got something you want to sell or promote on. Well, let's get to that point. I started to give it away, but let's say you've got something to sell or promote, and you're wondering the best place to do it. Well, I'm here to tell you, believe it or not, the best place to sell your stuff and promote is on social media. Now, you may be going, yeah, really? No, it is. It's even bigger than search, believe it or not. In fact, I just read, and a lot of this is coming from a study that recently HubSpot did, where younger shoppers tend to go to social media more to look at recommendations and reviews, even before a search engine. So like I have a couple of clients that do online courses, and which is a great way to make some income and kind of get known and have an impact. Well, what better place to promote that and talk about it and sell it than on social media? So in today's show, I'm gonna talk about that. Now, I'm having a little technical difficulty. I'm going to tell you right now. I had some issues. I use Ecamm to live stream. By the way, I'm Kevin, if we haven't met, and I usually use it with my Stream Deck. The Stream Deck crashed right before, so I'm going to be looking at my keys and things like that. But this is also about not being perfect. It's about, I started to say perfect information, but it's not really. But if the absolute thought of, well, I don't know what to do, leaves you like this guy. Yeah, well, that's what we're talking about in today's show. The best social media sites to promote and sell your stuff. Let's get on it. I told you I'm having difficulties. That would be the close, but we're just going to roll with that for now. Oh, man. But I am Kevin Colby with Kevin Colby Media, and the whole point of doing this is to share tips and tools and strategy all about digital media to help you share your story and make an impact on social media. So anyway, you ever have one of those days where it's just things are going and then all of a sudden it just kind of comes crashing to a halt? Let me know. Let me know in the comments, so I'm not the only person out there thinking that, hey, it's a Monday. But I do want to say this. I don't know when you're going to watch this, whether you're watching it live or you watch it on playback later, but this is Veterans Day. So I would be remiss if I didn't give a shout out to all the veterans, obviously those that sacrificed, regardless of whatever branch of service. My dad, still living, was actually in the Army for a while and then served in the Navy. I had an uncle that actually drove a tank under Patton. Funny story, he was stuck in a ditch once, and they couldn't get the tank out. And here comes this other tank, comes flying up, and Patton pops out. General George S. Patton curses them, gets in, drives the tank out of the ditch, gives them some words of wisdom, and drives off. I think he said that was really the only time he ever saw Patton. Had a grandfather that served in World War I, drove an ammo truck, and then I think later drove a Red Cross truck. But to any of my friends that served, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I've always been indebted to veterans because I get to do this. Now, people go, well, you get to live stream and do a show because of that. Yeah, because we live in a country where veterans throughout the years and serving right now serve. And I appreciate that. So thank you to any veterans out there that are serving. I appreciate that. But today we're talking about the best places on social media to sell and promote your stuff. Now, I want to be clear about something. If you're only on social media to sell, that's not the reason to be on there. I think it's fine. Now, look, obviously I'm broadcasting live on Facebook and YouTube and other places now. And if you're on Facebook, I'm on my Facebook page. I do have a business. I help people create online courses and mainly video, or I just help them do the video. But so there are times where you need to sell and promote your stuff, but not all the time. I mean, if you're only using social media because you think, hey, I can get on there and I can just sell, sell, sell. Well, I can tell you as a marketer, I get tired of that. I just get tired of being sold to all the time. So if that's your whole use of social media, I think you're going to be very disappointed. I've accepted friend requests from people who immediately start selling me stuff, even on LinkedIn. I can't stand it if somebody reaches out and then the minute we connect, they're trying to like sell me and stuff like that. And that's not how you want to use social media. So if that's happened to you, leave me a comment and let me know if you like to be sold to, yes or no. But what I want to do is present some findings from this research that was done by HubSpot about the top social media platforms you need to be on, because it is one of those things where it's bigger than just search. It's just the way it's going. So what do you say? Let's get into it. I got to find out. Yep, we're going to hit this one right here. The number one is, this should come as no surprise, is Facebook. Check this out. Over 1.5 billion daily users worldwide. Now, what are some of the things you can do on Facebook? Well, you can have a page, kind of like we're doing right now. So I have a page, I have a group, not as active in the group as I would like, and I'm kind of rethinking the group on Facebook versus a membership. Right now, it's a free membership site just for about people that create digital media. But you can sell ads. In fact, I want to show you this. So let me show you a case study I did recently. So one of the things you can do if you have a Facebook page is you can boost posts. And I did that recently, and check this out. So this was, I think, my last show on videos you should make for your business. And I went over 3 types that I use. If you want to look at that, it's still on the page, and it's also on YouTube. Well, I spent $25, and I targeted, you can see it like right down on the column on the right. I targeted 35 to 55-year-olds living primarily in North Carolina, not primarily living in North Carolina, but I also targeted businesses and small businesses and nonprofits. Well, I spent like right at $25. It says $25. It's like $24 and some change. But I reached just almost 1,900 people. 187 people watched it. There was a link, so I offered a free offer on there. 4 people went to that. Video views, almost 1,000. And then you can even see how they viewed it on mobile. Not a shocker there. Then on the news feed was down, but almost all of them, close to 75% of the people watched it on their mobile, which is also something to think about when you're doing this, is that the majority of people now are on mobile. So whatever you're doing, whatever you're selling or promoting, you need to make sure it is mobile friendly. Like I just recently kind of blew up my website, went with a different theme, and every page I have checked out on mobile just to make sure it works. So that's something to think about. The other thing about Facebook is stories. Check out this stat. I don't have a graphic for it, but 62% of folks are more interested in a product after having seen it on stories. And I know I personally have more engagement on my Facebook stories than Instagram stories. So just something to think about. Let's get back to the study. The number 2 is YouTube. Let's get back to that. Is YouTube. Now check this out. Users are 3 times more likely to watch a video than read a product manual. That's me. I personally would rather go and search out something on YouTube. And YouTube is the second biggest search engine in the world. Don't forget about that. It's a search engine first before anything else. So then, cue the next one. So if you don't know what kind of videos to make, I'd like to invite you to download this. You can go to kevincolbystore.com. It's right there. It is totally free, but there are 25 video ideas for your business. So if you don't really know what kind of video ideas to make, I would check this out. Any of these videos you can use to promote your product or your stuff, whether you have digital products, whether you have actual real products. Like one of my clients is a silversmith, and she sells jewelry aside from online classes, and it's a great place. So make sure you grab that. All right, number 3, on with the countdown. Instagram. Do you know you can actually sell directly if you have a Shopify account? And I don't, but you also have to have a business account. So I will link a link, if that's not redundant, but I'll put a link up that actually tells you a little bit more about how you need to set that up, and I'll definitely do it on the YouTube. So if you're watching this on YouTube, look for that link down there. But it is a way to sell. You can use stories there. You can go live on Instagram. Pinterest. You can do pics and video and a link to a website. Now, I have a Pinterest page. I don't use it a lot, and that may be on me. But again, I just let me stress something. This is not just about using social media to sell. You got to be yourself. You got to bring you. You got to engage. I mean, that's one of the reasons I absolutely love social media. In fact, Anna, get it. Kevin Colby, I appreciate that, and I appreciate Anna. Anna and I connected on another group, and Me Beno on Videos group, and just absolutely phenomenal person. Appreciate you popping in. But look, I love connecting with people, and I love being on social media for that reason. But it's not a bad place to also promote and talk about the things like a guy named Carlos Gill. Recently just wrote a book called The End of Marketing, and he's really, really been on social media talking it up. Why wouldn't he? I mean, he wrote a book. He wants people to buy it. He wants them to check it out. He's been a guest on, he's going to be in Raleigh pretty soon. I hope we can connect. So think about that. Anna is saying, guys use Pinterest differently than most ladies. That's probably true. And I'm glad you said that. That brings up a good point. Because, one of the things about, and you're welcome, one of the things about all these sites is, a place to start is where are you engaging and where is your audience? And most of these, if you have a business account, like on Facebook, the Facebook page, if you have an Instagram business account, you can go and see who your audience is. You can go and see who's interacting. It's funny because I tend to skew more male on Facebook, but not necessarily on Instagram. And so, but again, you want to know where your audience is using, because Anna's right. I mean, women use Pinterest more than guys, and guys use it differently. So it depends on what you're selling on there. One of my clients, who's also a friend, she goes by Rosie Revolver. She is killing it on Instagram. But she'll put things up about her. In fact, we shared this in the last video about the videos you need to be doing. I shared the video we actually produced to put on Instagram because she has such a large following there. Ted Rubin had a long-standing hashtag about relationships being the thing. Oh, okay. That's pretty cool. That's a good tip. I appreciate that, Anna. So let's get back to this. So Pinterest, we talked about Pinterest. And again, if you're not on Pinterest, is it worth getting an account? Maybe. That's one of those things you've got to figure out. Reddit. Now, full disclosure, I don't use Reddit. I've tried. I'm not a fan of Reddit, but just because I don't use it, don't mean to check it out. And you may be on it. And if you're on Reddit and you're just killing it on Reddit, let me know. But it is really a discussion community, and you can get on there and you can create what's called subreddits. So if you have a particular product, and keep in mind, this works for digital products, it works for actual real products like t-shirts or something, get on there, not to spam people, but to have a conversation. LinkedIn. Now, here's the thing about LinkedIn. I was on LinkedIn for a long time before I really, really did much with it. And I'll say this. Well, just check out the stat. 80% of B2B, that means business to business leads, come from LinkedIn. So what would be good for LinkedIn? Well, let's think about it. If you have an online course, if you have software products, if you have anything that relates to businesses, let's say you're doing a workshop, Let's say you're doing a free webinar. That would be a great place to talk about it. But again, add value. Now, sometimes you're I started a little t-shirt shop on Teespring not too long ago. I didn't make this one, but a lot of times I wear the shirts I've designed and sell on there. That would be a great place to talk about it. Yes, yeah, Anna is saying LinkedIn is just on fire lately, and she's right. You have to decide what social media works for you. But if you have a business and you're a business owner, or you're an entrepreneur like me, I'd strongly suggest getting on LinkedIn and make connections. Don't just look at it as networking. Make connections and comment and really get to meet people on there. All right, and we got one more of the top ones, and it is Twitter. Twitter. Over 126 million daily users. That's insane. That's insane. But here's something you got to remember. Twitter, the feed refreshes. So Twitter hashtags are huge, and it's all about kind of like, being in the moment and stuff like that. But it's a way to get on there. Now, I have had for the longest time this love-hate relationship with Twitter. I just have. But I've been enjoying it more just to have more conversations with people. So that might be somewhere that you want to go with that. So Anna's offering this. Yeah, when you post and share to each platform, respect each space as the different animal. Each one is his. And, Anna brings up a great point. I'm glad you pointed that out, Anna, is that, it like right now I'm live streaming on multiple platforms because it's just easier to get the message out there. And I realize people are going to consume this differently on YouTube than they are on Facebook. And this is actually the first time I'm live streaming on Periscope, which is actually Twitter. But you have to understand how platforms work. And Anna's got a great point. But again, the takeaway to all this is social media is a fantastic place to not only connect, but promote and sell things. And it's okay. It's okay to sell stuff. I'm in the world of digital media and marketing. I love to help my clients, create and share stories so they can actually make an impact in the world and grow however they want to, whether it's fundraising or things like that. So what an idiot I'd be if I didn't want to use social media to promote my own stuff. But at the same time, I don't want it to just be promote-y, if that's a word. I would love to hear from you. If you are doing anything on social media, which social media platform have you had the most success with? Leave that in the comments because it may be different. Now, granted, there's hundreds and thousands of social media platforms out there. But from this research that HubSpot did, these are like the top 7. And I got to tell you, like 50% of it went to Facebook. So that is the big juggernaut that there's so many things you can do. Oh, how sweet. Anna's saying, I enjoy your whole vibe. You're going to do great. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Anna's is so cool and such an encourager. Hey, look, if I can help you make an impact in the world, let me know. But remember, drop a note and say what social media platform you use the best. And sorry we had some hiccups today, but hey, it's what happens when you live stream. If you can't roll with it, then don't roll with it, I guess. I don't know. That's kind of pithy. But anyway, till next time, I'm Kevin Colby Media. Have a great day.